So, Br.Phap was talking about our inner child and how it's good to give our inner child love. And so the question I'm asking is, how do you love yourself without needing other people? Other people's approval.
Without needing the approval of others.
Dear Sangha, so we had the chance to talk a little bit on that topic of self-love and self-acceptance, which I think is a big one for many. It is one for me for sure. I think we have, when we welcome you with the young people, there's this topic of what I'm going to do next, what I want to do in my life is quite big, and I guess we all want some success. We want to be recognized. We want to feel worthy, and I guess the way the society nowadays and all the movies, all the trend is really to get that love from a career, from love from the outside, some success, maybe some art or career or anything. For me, when I was younger, I also had kind of dreams where I would get love and some acceptance, recognition from the outside. The more and more I see, actually, it can come from both people around me, but mostly it needs to come from myself, because that is sustainable. Actually, the love from outside, it will depend on circumstances. The success I will get outside will depend on the circumstances. But the love and the recognition, the self-worth, this I can offer myself, actually. Now, how? That's a very good question. And for me, it's mostly during my sittings, during my meditations. I can use some specific meditations or visualizations, and Tai offered us some of them. He offered for all ages, like adults and children, he offered the pebble meditations, where we have we can visualize a flower, we can visualize a mountain, we can visualize a lake or space. And flower, for me, is symbol of love, but it's also symbol of freshness. Mountain is solidity, lake is calm, and space is the vast, whatever that we are. And so I can see, if I see myself as a flower, and really take the time to visualize and to feel that I'm a flower, and if I can visualize that I'm receiving the rays of the sun, and I'm receiving the air that I need, I'm receiving all the nutriments from the soil, the cooling rain, just opening myself to that, Now, if I can imagine that it's not only those measurements, but it's also love and just my value as just a flower or human being. Just if I can just allow myself to receive that. Just feel the breath at the same time. So in many traditions it is said actually love is what we are. Actually it's what. So how come that we don't feel that we are worthy or that we are lovable? It's a kind of mystery. It's a kind of the image I have is like a fish in a lake who is thirsty. It's kind of quite amazing if we think about it. So I think that the problem is that we have built around us like a layer of this is me, I'm separated, and I am not love, and I don't see that actually it's all here. Comes to mind a beautiful song of Björk. I don't know if you know that artist. It says all is full of love. Actually, just look around you. All is full of love. And it's just my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Maybe I would like to add a bit. What's your name?
Alexi.
Alexi. Yeah. Thank you, Alexi. Thank you for choosing to come here, because that's an act of self-love. Because when you choose to come here, to have time and space to take care of yourself, that's the act of self-love. So for me, how to love myself without the need of the approval of others, that's the question I also ask myself. In fact, the first thing I need to recognize is that to recognize the habit in me of seeking the approval of others. That's why when I see it, this habit, I need to say, hello, my dear friend, is enough for now. So my mantra is that I am enough. But I need to learn to recognize the habit because it's so strong. And the collective society and people around us also do the same. So somehow in us, that habit is so strong. So it's not easy. So I need to learn to recognize, hey, my dear friend, I see you. I can learn to catch it. Each time I see myself seeking the approval, I need to, hey, is it now? And the story I tell myself in my head. I will fail again. I don't deserve love. This kind of story I tell myself. So I need to learn to recognize the story and rewrite the story. I say, hey, you have enough. You can do it. Now I become a cheerleader. I say, yes, you can do it. So that kind of rewrite the story and be your cheerleader. Somehow that needs to be cultivated more and more. It's like a seed in our mind now. It's a little bit fragile. Now we need to protect, to do it again and again, water every day, make sure. So I look at myself in front of a mirror. I smile to that person. I say, thank you for being there. Hello, my dear friend. Thank you for being there. Because before, I really had a sad face and I felt so sad about life. I don't deserve love. So one day, I don't know what happened. I just decided I need to be happy. I will be a happy person. And I look at myself in the mirror. I start with very simple practice of smiling towards myself. And check in with myself every day. How do I love myself concretely today? Sometimes just feel, oh, I'm tired the whole day. Okay, I go to bed early without checking my phone, or just to see some film, read some books. Maybe listen to more what my body tells me. That's an act of self-love. So this is something that we, during this retreat, we also learn to stop, slower down, because here there is a radio non-stop thinking. It stops you to connect with your body, to feel your heart, what is really there. But somehow, every day our senses receive a different message that, oh, someone is better than you. Oh, you need to be better, to strive better, do more, harder. Every day we receive the message. And if we don't have the time to stop, check in how do we feel? How do the story I receive and process it? Then this kind of information, it takes over. It drives the story by itself. And you don't recognize it. So for me, the act of self-love, it starts very slowly, stopping. Every day I take a 5 minutes just to be with myself. Maybe I can drink a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, just be there. This is my time. I want to offer this towards myself. Maybe eating meditation, this time you can say, okay, this 3 spoons, the first 3 spoons is an act of self-love. I will eat fully, be there for myself. Something you can do? Simple. Otherwise it's too difficult. 1 spoon, the first spoon. How about that? You can do it. It's really an act of self-love. Say every day, you give yourself a hug. You're so cool, I love you. Good luck. Last question. Dear Tai, dear family and friends, one of the Dharma talks this week, I think brother said that allows yourself to have joy, and then at the same time sufferings are interconnected, meaning yours is mine, mine is yours. So my question is, how can we allow ourselves to have joy while others suffer, especially our loved ones? How can we not be carried away by others' suffering in order to create space for ourselves?
Thank Thank you very much for your question. It resonates with practical case I have in my life. I have my mother has Alzheimer type of disease, and she came to live near our monastery in Dordogne. So we are 10 kilometers apart. And the thing is with Alzheimer, when you lose memory, I mean, what's happening for her now, since last year, is that she doesn't recognize the room she lives. Like, so she wakes up in the morning, it's like a new room, like a kind of hotel room, and she's lost, basically. She doesn't remember the last time I went to visit her. And I felt that quite often she has some expectation that I come to see her, so there is some demand, and I'm the only one. And my sister lives in the French Alps, where I grew, so I'm the only one around, so I feel some kind of pressure, some kind of guilt also not to go if I don't. So, yeah, I kind of struggle with how do I practice with that? How do I keep fresh for myself and for my community? Because I live with my community, so I want also to offer them some good energy. So it's not only for myself, but also how can I support her in the best way? And so, exactly just like with the bell I mentioned before, when I received some calls from my mom, and I mean not especially phone calls, but more like, I receive the thoughts in me, whether it's I get it from her or whether I imagine, but I receive a call like, come, and I'm alone, and I don't know where I am, I want to go back home, but I don't know where even it is. Wow, for me, reaction is, I feel like I need to do something, and I don't feel at peace. The suffering is there. So, yeah, for quite a few months I struggled with that, and this guilt, so I would go, actually, or I would fall, and well, it wouldn't actually, I would just feel helpless, actually. It wouldn't solve anything, only that I would get tired, so I would offer a lot of presents for my community, and for her neither, actually. But it's just like with the bell, actually, when I received, talking with some friends, there was a suggestion that actually I could when I received this kind of call, I could also send some energy, some thoughts, but good ones. I could actually send an energetic hug to my mom. It feels like it sounded stupid at first, but okay, it felt also like there's something with that, so I just tried. And, it just changed the situation, basically. So whenever I started to receive that message, I would send that loving message back, actually. And really talking to her. Just I remember Tai also would give in this Dharma talk, whenever you have an emotion that is difficult to welcome, whether it is guilt, whether it is sadness or hopelessness, you can always talk to that part of you also. You would say, my dear little hopelessness, my dear little sadness, I know you're here and I'm here for you. And recently some brothers shared, Tai says this, but we think like, no, it doesn't really do that. It's just too simple or too. But for me, I noticed that it's true. I can do that for my own emotions. I can do that through a person, and I can see there is a change in my life for sure. So I keep the space I need to take care of myself, and then the space I need to also, be there for the people around me, and I can also support the person that needs support, but it doesn't have to be physically. Of course, I go see her whenever I can and I want also. Because if I go with the energy that I have to, with that gift, actually, it's not, the relationship is not even good. I mean, it's not, the outcome is not beautiful actually, and it's not sustainable, because yeah, if only joy, doing something with joy is sustainable. And same goes for me when I hear the news and it's bad news and I want to do something, but I can't. I mean, it doesn't seem like I can really do something. If I see that there's nothing really I can do, and with joy, it's better I don't listen to those news too often, actually. And rather, I can focus on what I can do where I am. And we're talking about our family, the people around us. And for me, that's, yeah, and I can still send also some energetic hugs to the people who I feel needed. And for me, I find peace in that, actually. It's yeah. So I hope it helps. Thank you for my contribution. No, it was very good.